Day, everyone. I am Joy Santo, first year BSc major in Social Studies, Set A, and we are the Group 1, and our topic is all about symmetry. So first, let's know what is a symmetry. When we say symmetry, it means that one shape is identical to the other shape when it is moved, rotated, or flipped. If an object does not have symmetry, we say that the object is asymmetrical. The concept of symmetry is commonly found in geometry. These are an example of symmetry.
What are asymmetry in mathematics?
So we come now on our main topic. Symmetry in mathematics states that symmetry is a mirror image. When an image looks identical to the other image after the shape is being turned or flipped, then it is called symmetry. It exists in pattern. You may have often heard of term symmetry in a day-to-day life. It is balanced and proportionate similarity found in two halves of an object. That is, one half is the mirror image of the other half. And a shape that is not symmetrical is referred to as symmetrical. Symmetric objects are found all around us in nature, architecture, and art. An example of symmetry in mathematics is this. When you are told to cut out a heart from a piece of paper, don't you simply fold the paper, draw one half of the heart at the fold and cut it out to find that the other half is exactly matches the first half. The heart carved out is an example of symmetry. So this is an example of symmetry in mathematics. When we see line of symmetry, it is an imaginary line or axis along which you fold a figure to obtain the symmetrical halves is called the line of symmetry. It basically divides an object into two mirror image halves. The line of symmetry can be vertical, horizontal, or diagonal. There may be one or more lines of symmetry.
What are symmetry in nature?
So we come now to symmetry in nature. Symmetry surrounds us, people, animals, plants, everything on the earth and outside is symmetrical. Symmetry is nature's artworks that creates harmony and balance. Symmetry surrounds you. Look down at your body, look at the shapes on the screen, look at the buildings on your street, look at your cat or dog. Symmetry is variously defined as proportion, perfect or harmonious proportions, and structures that allows an object to be divided into parts of an equal shape and size. When you think of symmetry, you probably think of some combination of all these definitions. That's because symmetry, whether in biology, architecture, art, or geometry, reflects all of these definitions. The two main types of symmetry in nature are reflexive and rotational. When we say reflexive or line symmetry means that one half of an image is the mirror image of the other half, think of a butterfly wings. While the rotational symmetry means that the object or image can be turned around the center point and match itself some number of times, as in five pointed stars.
How can you show appreciation in God's creation?
We should be thankful that God created the different kinds of patterns, especially asymmetry, because it helps us to organize our world conceptually and we become aware in our surroundings. We, as an individual, we show appreciation in God's creation through using it in a right way, sharing it with others, and embracing it. God's creation gives us the intelligence and knowledge to know the things that we do not understand. All we need to do is to discover it because everything He made has a reason and meaning. He showed us how beautiful the things He created that we must cherish and appreciate.
Hi everyone, I am Georgina P. Abella and I'm going to discuss about symmetry. What is symmetry? Symmetry defines that one shape is exactly like the other shape when it is moved, rotated, or flipped. Ang symmetry ay isang balanse at proportional na pagkakatulad na makikita natin sa isang bagay, na kapag ito ay hinati, ay makikita natin ang pagkakapareha o yung one half ng hinati natin ay mirror image or the same sa other half. Just like the given example I have in my PowerPoint, showing the letter Y. You can see the imaginary line which you can fold figure to obtain a symmetrical line, and the line or axis is called the line of symmetry. The basic types of symmetry. Line symmetry. The imaginary line or axis along which you fold the figure to obtain the symmetrical halves is called the line of symmetry. It basically divides an object into two mirror image halves. The line of symmetry can be vertical, horizontal, diagonal. They may be one or more lines of symmetry. So, ang pinaka-basic types ng symmetry is yung line symmetry, na kung saan hinahati ang isang bagay sa dalawa gamit ang imaginary line. The second basic type is the two line. The lines may be vertical or horizontal, as viewed in my example I have in my PPT, the H and X. Ipinapakita dito na kahit hatiin mo man siya horizontally or vertically, makakabuo ka pa din ng symmetrical. The third basic type is the three lines. May kita natin na may tatlong imaginary line o tinatawag nating line of symmetry, na nagpapakita din na makakabuo tayo ng symmetry sa pamamagitan ng mga line na yan. That's all. Thank you.
So good day everyone, this is Georgia Picosa and I am going to share you guys about the other types of symmetry. So the first one is the translational symmetry. So it is when object or image moves forward or backward or changes the position from one area to another area, but the image or object does not change. So translational symmetry is the name given to this type of symmetry. So as you can see in my example, which is the honeybee, it says that if you move that honeybee, it's either forward or backward, or you if you will change the position from one area to another area, it will not change or it will not affect the figure. So yeah, that's the example. That's what we mean by the translational symmetry. And the next one is it's called rotational symmetry. It is when the object or image is rotated in a particular direction, but the position of an object or image is identical to the origin or image or object, then it is called rotational symmetry. It is also called radial symmetry. So yan, as you can see po sa may example na ibinigay sa may aming PowerPoint, I got 3 examples there. And yeah, the first one is the flowers. And I don't know exactly what those other two called. But that is the example pag sinabi nating rotational symmetry. So yeah, kahit sabihin mong i-rotate mo siya, still ganun pa rin yung figure or ganun pa rin yung itsura ng object. And the next one is the reflexive symmetry. Reflexive symmetry is the same as the line symmetry, same as a line of symmetry. In this type of symmetry, one part of the image or object represents the mirror image or another part of the image. Reflexive symmetry is also called a line or symmetry or mirror symmetry. The below figure is better example of reflexive symmetry. So as you can see the given example, that is the most specific or pinaka the best na example na nire-represent ng reflexive symmetry. And then meron din ako isang example dito, which is yung flip sa paglalaba. So as you can see, same lang siya ng di ba, ganyan. So if ginanyan mo siya, parang mirror lang. Kumbaga, kahit hatiin mo siya sa gitna, kung ano yung figure or kung ano yung yung figure ng other side, ganun din yung figure ng other side. So this is what we call the reflexive symmetry. Sorry kung hindi ko masyadong ma-explain, but this is one of the example of the reflexive symmetry. And lastly is the glide symmetry. It is the combination of both translation symmetry and reflection symmetry. So, yung glide symmetry, same lang siya sa yung combination siya ng translational symmetry and then yung reflection symmetry. So, ayan, kung makikita natin sa may example. So, yung una, yung blue and the red. So, yan, pares lang sila ng figures. So, that is what we call the translational. But, yeah, it's glide. And then, the reflectional symmetry naman. So when you flip the object, it is same with, it's same pa din yung figure. So, hindi siya na-apektuhan. And that's all. Thank you.
Hey, my name is Romelep Balistar Jr. and let's talk about symmetry in nature. Symmetry surrounds us. People, animals, plants, everything on the earth and outside is symmetrical. Symmetry is nature's artwork that create harmony and balance. Objects like leaves, fruits, animals, insects, spider webs, flowers, and so many more are good examples of symmetrical images. But first, let's talk a bit about what is symmetry. In mathematics, an object or shape is symmetrical when it remains unchanged after we rotate, flip, or scale it, and when it allows being divided into parts of equal shape and size. Today we will talk about two types of symmetry. A shape has reflectional symmetry or bilateral symmetry when a line can be drawn to divide the shape into halves so that each half is a reflection of the other. That line is called the line of symmetry. A shape may have more than one symmetry lines of symmetry, like vertical, horizontal, and diagonal. A shape has rotational symmetry. If when it is rotated around the center point, a number of degrees it appears the same. In other words, when the shape still looks like the same after some rotation of less than one full circle or 360 degrees, order of rotational symmetry. Order of rotational symmetry is the number of times a shape can be rotated around a full circle and still look the same. Did you know that asymmetry is the absence of symmetry? Asymmetry is an object or shape is not symmetrical if it changes with rotation, flipping, or scaling, and if it's not possible to divide it into parts of equal shape and size. And a way to see if a shape has reflection or bilateral symmetry is to use a mirror. Put the mirror where you think the line of symmetry should be and see if your shape still looks the same. It is also a cool way to see how the shape or image would look if it was asymmetrical. After learning a bit about symmetry, you can go for a walk in the forest or an exhibition in your backyard and collect or take pictures of symmetrical objects. Collect some asymmetrical objects too. It will be fun to use a mirror and see how they would look if they were symmetrical. Objects like leaves, twigs, stones, flowers, insects, spider webs, shells, fruits, tree stumps, snails, stems, and birds or animals.
My name is Rosalie Balilin, first year, Set A, BSN, major in Social Studies, Group 1. What is symmetry in nature? Symmetry in biology, or so-called symmetry in nature, the repetition of the parts in animal or plant in orderly fashion. Especially symmetry refers to correspondence of body parts in size, shape, and relative position on opposite sides of dividing line or distributed around a central point of axis. How is symmetry related in nature? Scientists regard symmetry breaking to the process of new pattern formation. Broken symmetries are important because they help us classify unexpected changes in form through the process of symmetry. Breaking new patterns in nature are formed. New structure is gained as symmetry is lost. Symmetry in nature example are starfish, sea anemones, jellyfish, and some flowers have radial symmetry. Lastly, plane or bilateral symmetry. Also, reflective symmetry means that a body can be divided by a central sagittal plane into equal halves that form mirror images of each other.
How can you show appreciation in God's creation?
I always appreciate mountains' air. I notice how wonderfully clean the air is, the purity and freshness of what you breathe in when on a mountain feels. You find deep peaceful when you're spending time on a mountain. It is a unique feeling of calm and tranquility that you need to express to understand. It filters through you and stays with you for a time after you leave. I always appreciate sunsets. Sunsets are beautiful to watch. Sunsets bring with itself such organic color in the sky, which are beautiful to stare at. Other than the blue sky, sunsets bring a new hope, a hope for a sunrise, a hope for a better tomorrow. Sunsets give me the feeling that nothing stays forever, whether it happiness or sorrow. Times changes, things are changed. In its metamorphosis from the common colorless caterpillar to the exquisite winged creature of delicate beauty, the butterfly has become a metaphor for transformation and hope. Across cultures, it has become a symbol for rebirth and resurrection, for the triumphs of the spirit and the soul over the physical prison.